So guys, this is the result. This is what you asked for. It's the
Paradise, absolute Karpas, Russian PE Kamaz.
You're my Formula 1 today, Formula 1, Russian party in Kamaz. Привет всем. Welcome. Hello everybody. Okay, we're going to have a look at your vote for my next build. I'm really happy actually you guys chose this, the Mustang truck, the Rossiyski Trechosny Gruzvenik three-wheeled truck, yeah, from Kamaz. Now, also, in addition, and probably more importantly, we're going to review as well this photo etch set, and also we've got the Kaz models masking set, and more so, we have got from Miniarm the resin wheel set for the Kamaz 5350 late, and you got bits inside here, so we're going to look at all of that together because the kit itself, there's quite a few reviews out there on this kit because a bit of a groundbreaker really. I mean, it really dispels, this is one of the newer releases by Zvezda, and basically the detail inside here is amazing. I'll just sort of show you the box with some pizza pieces. For some reason they call out the paints from Zvezda, and I think I've explained they're a little bit difficult to find actually in Russia and Tamia. Decal sheet there. On the back you've got the obviously the view of the built vehicle. Point to note as well that the tilt, this canvas tilt, is included in the kit. Which is great, and we'll go into that as well. 1/35 as well, quite a big truck as well. 474 detailed parts. See what it says. This truck belongs to the Mustang family of Russian military off-road vehicles, 6x6 and carries 6 tons. It's for transport of military cargo and personnel, artillery and weapons system. Point to note as well, this vehicle is basically used by civilians as well in Russia as well, so you can do a civilian version of it. Okay, let's I'll show you what's inside the box next. Okay, you get a box with Zvezda, you get a box within a box, which is really good for protection of the parts, and I'll show you exactly what you get inside. The instruction sheet, new thing from Zvezda. You get the color layout, which is really cool. This is their support card if you're missing parts. And then they're getting better, I must say. You've got one big bag of sprues, another big bag of sprues. You've got the decal sheet, you've got the transparent parts, also you have got the mirrors in silver metallic stickers, and excuse me, here are the rubber tires that are included within the kit. So that's all the parts. Let's open up the bags and I will show you the details and the instructions, but I'm going to sort of try and quicken it up a bit, just sort of show you bits and pieces. Okay, this is the first set of sprues. I'm just going to point out that the detail being rendered is top rate. There's no compromise here on detail. The parts are very fine, and yeah, you're going to find out there's a fully detailed engine inside here, but they've got all the hoses, all the fixings, steering wheel, etc. I think this is part of the engine carburetor or turbocharger. Here's that engine block, fully detailed. The wheels as well, they're not bad, but you're going to see the resin replacements. We'll do a comparison as we go through the build. I'll show you what the kit part offers, and really I sort of like to spoil myself as well. You can probably guess that really. I like to get extra bits and pieces whenever I can. This kit is inexpensive in Russia, 2,000 rubles. So basically we're looking at about maybe about $25 for a kit with so many parts. Try and get an equivalency in Trumpeter, who also produce this kit, and you're looking at about $50. And I think ICM do one as well, and I think it's comparable, maybe about $25, $30. But I want to get the Zvezda one because it was the cheapest, and also I knew the detail was good. Note this is the mud flap detail. They've got the Kamaz manufacturer's name on the mud flaps, which is pretty good because obviously the vehicle is supported by Kamaz. You got some jerry can detail, the axles. What I want to see is how is the construction made up. Is it one big axle, or do we need to make out from multiple components? Let's see what the next sprue is. The next sprue is a duplicate. So we've got two sprues of the same, basically, wheels and details. So I'll open up the next bag and show you the sprues in there. Okay, we're looking at the final three solid plastic components. And this basically is the cab. Obviously you can see the front of the cab. I need to note how the grille looks like on here. I think my friend Pablo is sending me a gift, which is a aftermarket resin grille for the front. I'm going to check that out actually. I don't know what's missing, maybe the logo, but there is some correction. You've got the seats here. I think I'm going to check exactly. I'm going to actually ask some people, is the cab steel? Is it a plastic material like Western vehicles? I don't know. But that's going to come into play when we do the weathering, because I'm already starting to seek out references for this build, especially if I need to do something in the construction stage that impacts weathering. Oh, there's the steps as well. Look at that. Look at the detail. Really well rendered. Just like seeing this part, it's not made of two halves, it's one tubular piece. Look at all the ribbing and detail they've got inside the cab. See, that's detailed on both sides. The doors look really good. Point to note as well, the doors will open, so it's not like a solid cab. But we need to take care, obviously, during the construction stage to make sure that we build everything properly. Right, okay, there we go. This looks good already. Ladder frame construction with some of the support, some of the components. I don't know what these are. This might be an axle or a engine mount. We'll find out in the instructions. But like really big, chunky, and detailed. Look at the detail on the ladder rack chassis. It's got it's got protrusions for like where there will be bolts. It's got indentations where there will be holes. The spring axles look amazing. The detail on there looks fantastic. As does the components here that make up the transmission. I think this is the tailgate, or front and back part of the tailgate. It looks really good. Can't wait to get on with this, to be honest. Final big sprue is, as I mentioned, the canvas. You've got the payload bay, or the rear cargo deck, I suppose that's what you call it. There. Let's have a look at the components there. No sink marks, no ejector pin marks, no stupidity. That is a really good thing to see. So there's nothing to deal with. Everybody's raving on about Tamiya, how great they are. Tamiya can't do this. Every time Tamiya do this, they get ejector pin marks, either in the load bay. And if you don't believe me, check out the Opel Blitz. And I'm not saying that these are better or worse, but just open up your eyes, people. There's so many, like, was it Sheeple that only build Tamiya? And they're missing out on some really good kits. The canvas tilt looks really good. You can see where the bars are there. You can see where the canvas gets stretched across. With some painting, that will look amazing. Also, point to note as well, where the canvas tilt will be attached to the truck body. All of the eyelets are drilled through. So all you need to do is like use some very fine wire or some string, and you're going to get that spot on, as is the back here. You could do extra detailing. There's all sorts of options. It's looking very, very good. I'm going to really enjoy building this. Also, I'm really glad that you guys did choose a truck, because of course the weathering is going to be different. It's going to open up some different options. I'll show you briefly the tire package that are rubber. Not also a bad thing. Now, if you look carefully, you actually see that they actually have got some sidewall detail, including the manufacturer. But we'll be looking at these just in a second. Let me just finish this portion. Final sprue is, let's see what we've got inside here. We've got a rope. Let's find out where that comes into play. It is actual rope as well. It's not wire, so we'll see how that's used. The clear parts are clear. What else can you say? You got lights, you got indicators, the rear tail lights, side windows. Maybe we can do something with them, maybe not. The multitude of lights. Everything seems to be covered there. Looks pretty good. This is interesting. Always a feature of Zvezda. They use a very flexible, transparent part. Do you see how I can bend this with my fingers? It's not brittle. It's very like, I don't know, malleable. Yeah. I don't know if that's good or bad. I prefer actually a more solid, but we'll see how that works out. I don't think it's going to be detrimental at all. It's just the way Zvezda do their clear transparencies. Big bonus here, of course, is that we've got these metallized stickers here for the mirrors. I think that's absolutely awesome that they do that. Decal sheet is pretty good. We'll check out the markings, see what there is. I can see on there Ludi, which is people, and I've seen the trucks in Moscow when they have to mark up the vehicles with the people, if they are transporting people rather. They've got Garda here, bits and pieces. Let's have a look at the instructions quickly. We'll quickly go through the instructions, just flick through them quickly, because basically I'll explain any pitfalls as we build. Let's start off with the markings. And it actually tells you what it is for the International Army Games. Well, it's pretty good, because I mean, basically Big Green Truck hasn't really got many markings, but they've looked around. They've got a Russian flag on it, they've got a Russian army symbol, bits and pieces that make the vehicle immediately a bit more interesting. And then on here they've got Razminirovania, so that's anti-mining, isn't it? Razminirovania, anti-mining battalion. Just sort of interesting sort of thing. I wonder if these guys maybe are involved in the areas, from the Second World War that still got mines. I don't know exactly, but we're going to be doing something different. Again, it's got this Lude, sort of the instruction that the vehicle is carrying people. So you've got those decals, and they add a little bit of interest, but they're just two big green trucks with black chassis. That's what you're going to get. Let's flick through the instructions as quick as I can. Really good now that Zvezda now have a booklet form, it's just preferable. I might have told you about this before. They've got Upakovoshik 10. So the packer of the model is number 10. So if there's anything missing, they'll probably ask you, who packed it? Number 10. Number 10, come here. You're in trouble. Okay. Two variants. Point to note as well, there isn't actually two variants. There's more than that. They're showing you a version with a cab in the driver configuration and the tilt on. Then you've got the second version, which is as if it's getting, like maintenance or something. So the cab tilted forward. And then also it's got the cargo deck open. But of course you can mix and match to whatever you want to do. But I believe from the instructions that you can't move the cab back and forward. You need to choose pretty early on. So let's just have a look. First of all, as we know, there's a good parts map layout. In fact, they number all the parts as well. Can you remember when we used to get kits that had all the numbers on a parts map and they weren't on the sprue? That's going back a bit. Fully detailed engine. Detailed engine. Chassis gets built up. Chassis rails get built up. I'm going to explain basically how we do this. I want to find out if things are, you know, straightforward. Because I mean, we know that the ICM kits already come with a ladder rack that's similar fashion. It had nice joins, so we'll see if there's any pitfalls on that. I'll show you how everything lines up. There's that string. The string goes inside there, so there's a winch here. There's a winch inside, integral to the truck, but we'll probably use wire there. Let's go through this quickly. Loads of detail. Transmission parts get added on. Look at all the detail getting added on. This is not your... When everybody thinks Zvezda, I don't know, they're clouded by the old Italeri reboxes. But look at what these guys are doing now. They are right up there in terms of detail. Let's find out if they're up there in terms of buildability and fit. Because I'm reading more and more people, they're just crying, complaining, oh, it's got too many parts, it's terrible, you know. Well, personally, I like a lot of parts, I like a lot of detail. That's the reason I chose this model, because you know, it's not a weekender, it's going to be, you know, there's a bit more to it. With all that detail, I'll enjoy all these components coming together. And the proof of the pudding, of course, is in the fit. We want to see if everything goes together. So basically, 67 instruction steps, and then it's giving you some, you know, versions there if you want to do it basically with that tilt up or down. We'll choose that. I'm going to tell you what we're going to do in terms of the build. Now, what else do we need to look at? Extras. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring up some macros so you can have a look. The first thing we'll look at is the Miniarm sagged wheel set. Now these are a bit pricey, I must admit, and what you get inside here, and I think it's important to note as well, there's a difference in these compared to the deck wheels, and I'm not saying one's better or worse, but it's just a different way of doing things. So as you're going to see in the macro, you can see all the tread wall detail, all these nuts, all these detail, and I'll just let you look at all that. But the construction is that you've got 6 wheels like so. They've got a very nice, subtle bulge to the bottom of the tyre, and obviously they made the bottom of the tyre where the plug is for the resin casting. Yeah, so you just take that off. I'll show you how to do all this, but it's just a subtle, realistic bulge. All the sidewall details rendered in there. We want to pick that all out. This makes for an interesting build, because if we spent some money on resin wheels, we definitely want to highlight all this. We want this to show up. It's going to be a really nice feature of the model. I was explaining, to get the undercuts and the detail in the hob, they mold these separately. So what we need to do, we need to get these off of the backing. Yeah, so that means that the rear portion of the wheel, and we'll find out how these fit together because we want them really tight, has no detail behind it. Not really, it doesn't really matter at all, believe me. But I'll show you how these get removed, because we need to sand all the way through. Quite a big, you know, there's a normal sort of size pouring block there, and that's the way resin kits are. But I'll show you how to get this off safely, how not to damage it. Okay, that's more important than anything. But let's have a look at the I'll shut up for now, and you can have a look at the macro and you can see all the detail. I need to look up, I'll put up the price for how much the resin set cost. I don't know, why did I get them? I just wanted to see what they were like. I've used Miniarm many times, but I haven't got any of their wheel sets, and we can do a comparison between basically the supplied kit items and the aftermarket. Okay, now let's have a look at this photo etch set. This is from Microdesign, a Russian company. Very inexpensive here in Russia, very inexpensive. And it's got some detailed parts that are going to complement the build. I got the set because it was like less than $10, so that was my primary motivation. And also I thought it might be a good intro to photo etch as well, you know, because I could build out the box, and why don't we sort of explore adding on some photo etch components. Here's the instructions, and it's going to show you what's getting added on. Basically just one big exploded diagram, and really sort of the focus of detail seems to be the interior of the cab. So stuff that's missing is supplied, i.e. the seat belts are supplied in photo etch, some hinge detail, some supplemental detail for the frames of the windows. That looks as if it could be quite good. Down here there's some detail underneath the cab. I think this is more to do with propping the vehicle in that maintenance state, so maybe we aren't doing that. This is the radiator here. The rear bumper bars here are in photo etch, so I'll show you how to form these up here. And then there's some more details added on to the load bed. On this side we get detail for the instrument cluster, because we have, of course, that instrument cluster there in transparent parts, so we're going to get a realistic instrument cluster there. Details for the top hatch, opening it, so that might be an idea. We can probably show that open. I think we will, to actually get some detail in there. And then of course we've got some more detail, and it's not bad. Remember, I showed you just before the plastic parts, not bad at all. But we've got Kamaz logo, and also the supports in photo etch that support the rear mud flaps. Some detail for the compressed air cans here, and some detail for some of the steps and hinges. So this is like a nice light, I would call it a nice a light style photo etch. It's going to add some detail. We'll choose what we're going to add and what we will not add, and I'll explain my reasoning behind that. Final set, well actually maybe not the final set. I've got a set of masking stickers as well, to mask off the clear parts. This is from a company called Cav Model, and again Russian manufacturer, based in St. Petersburg, and they've got the stickers again. So we've got the stickers already that were included, but we get another set. These are actually a little bit better. And then we've got two sets of masks, internal masks and external. Also we've got the wiper pattern as well, and the lights as well. So quite a lot of bits and pieces that we can add on. I think that's everything. The only thing I needed to check was to see if the Kamaz logo is on the front of this truck, and I just have a feeling that maybe it seems to be yeah, it seems to be detailed on there. But I think my friend Pablo has bought me a little present. He's sending it to me. If that arrives, I'll add that in during the build stage. I need to crack on with this, guys, and I'm going to try to feed you through the build stage as much as I can. So I hope you enjoyed this review. Any questions and comments, please leave them below.